Hey guys, today we're out again at the day camp. I'm Sean.
And I'm Caleb.
With the Family Outdoors. Today we're going to go over this little EDC fire starter, as well as this Anorak that my wife made me. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Let's see how it goes. So as always, we're going to start by getting a fire going here. I'll give you guys a close-up peek at this EDC fire starter. You screw it apart. It's got a little striker, as well as a little bit of fire starter that it comes with. We might as well use that since this is a demonstration. So we'll add that to our birch bark. You screw it apart again. Inside there is your ferro rod. Let's get starting some fire. So here's that little bit of fire starter. It just feels like cotton. A little bit of cotton that comes with it. We'll get that furled out a little bit here. For such a small thing, it sure has a lot of it in there. So we're going to add that to our birch bark bundle here. We'll try to shoot some sparks into it and see what happens. Not a fan already, I can tell you, of how short this striker is. It makes it very hard to use. There we go. Took a few attempts, but we finally got a bit of flame going there. So that was a look at the little EDC fire starter. That one, I'll be honest, did not perform nearly as well as I would have liked. With such a short striker on it though, a big part of it could be my technique. I'm not used to something that's a fraction of an inch long. I mean, the striker's under a 1/4 inch long, so it was definitely difficult to manipulate when using. But it got the job done, got a fire going, so I guess that's all that matters. So we're going to get our water on here to boil for our tea. All right. So, the other thing we wanted to talk about is this lovely anorak that my wife made me. It's made out of wool, of course. It's got the hood. We also added an additional top pocket here, as well as a loop that I could add extra stuff off of if I wanted. I thought that was pretty cool. She made this all herself. She was up most of the night trying to get it done so it would be ready for the video today. I absolutely love it. For Canada, this is what you need. This is what you want right here. Wool retains 68% of its heat value even when it's wet, which is fantastic. So yeah, it's nice and warm. It's a little bit heavier, but hey, heavy means warmth, and when you're in Canada, that's what you want. It's really is a nice anorak. I'm really happy with it. It's got the nice big deep pocket. We went with 6-inch sides on it, so it's a nice deep pocket. You can throw a whole bunch of stuff in there without fear of it falling out or never being able to find it again. So yeah, just want to take a look at that, show you guys, you know, when you use your imagination and creativity, you can come up with just about anything. So today, our topic for tea time, we're going to talk a little bit about imagination and bushcraft. Utilizing your imagination for bushcraft can help you in various different ways. If you can imagine it, you can build it. So one of the useful things when you talk about using your imagination and working it into wild camping and bushcraft are things like knitting and crocheting. My wife has made numerous fantastic items for us. She's made us each like fingerless gloves that come up real high that I absolutely love. They're just a fantastic bit of kit. You know, it keeps your hands warm, but it gives you the functionality of your fingers. I know myself, I have a trouble wearing gloves. I know my son Caleb does too, that his gloves are never on. They're laying around, they're getting lost. When you go with an item like fingerless gloves, you just seem to use them more because you got the dexterity of your full fingers. The other thing she's made us all is the toques, which are extremely warm. They're really thick, great for retaining heat. They're made out of wool. Fantastic bit of kit there, keeps your head warm. I wear it when I sleep even to keep the heat in on my head. They're another fantastic bit of kit. Sewing is something else that can be utilized too for your wild camping and bushcraft activities. This is an anorak like we went over at the beginning of the video that my wife made me. This is a fantastic bit of kit. You can see it's quite long. My head's not getting cut off in the video. It's got a nice deep pocket here in the front. It's got a little pocket here that I can put other items, as well as this nice little loop on here that I can use to attach other items. It's warm. It's got a nice hood on it. You can see there. It's a deep hood, so I can really pull it back if I want to get a lot of block from the sun and the wind. Everything's got strings on it that I can pull it up and suck it up right tight if I choose. There's drawstrings on the hoodie as well. Again, another fantastic bit of kit. My wife made this. She sewed this. She was up most of the night making this for me last night, actually, so I would have it for today in this video. Just a great bit of bushcraft kit here. Everybody who does this stuff in Canada, they utilize an anorak. Wool's the way to go. It retains 68% of heat value when it's wet. Definitely a good bit of kit, and I suggest that everybody getting into this stuff use your imagination, try a bit of creativity, and make one for yourself. So we already said that imagination is the limit when it comes to bushcraft. Caleb, what kind of items, tools, things do you find are creative in the bush that you utilize all the time?
For one, I'd go with tongs. They're easy to make, they're useful in the bush to make other things like our bowl here for scooping in hot coals, for taking out hot coals, for just scraping the hot ash off with the butt of it. They can be used for a lot, and it doesn't take much to build them. And then you have something that can be lifelong in helping you, or at least till it gets seasoned. Another thing you can make, which is also very easy, is our mallet here. It's a really simple item to make, and it'll help you in so many different ways, from a range of batoning all the way to hammering in dowels or stakes. It has pretty much, it has a lot of uses, and it's easy to make. It takes I believe in our Bushcraft 101 video, it took us about 10 minutes to make, other than cutting it down and looking for it. It took us 10 minutes to make this, which has lasted us, I believe, 2 months, maybe more. The third thing is just a simple bench, as my dad said. It'll help you, elevate you, keep you dry. Another thing is just a tripod. Tripod can help you in several different ways, from holding up our ridgepole here, which I'm sorry if you can't see, but I'm sure you've seen it a lot. You can see a tripod right here, at least the 2 legs of one. It's helped for our fire. It helps a lot to just helping you with stuff. Another one is foot insulation. Putting something under your feet so it's not soaking up cold from the ground. Or a table, which we had one, but it got old and wrecked. So that's a lot of stuff that are pretty simple to make and very useful.
Should be noted too that with a lot of these things that he's talked about, such as a table, there are so many different methods to make this kind of stuff, from quick and dirty, kind of threw together just to get a job done. Might not last very long, might not be very pretty, but it'll get the job done, to a lot more elaborate tables that are all notched and fit together and interlock with each other, that'll last quite a bit longer and are a lot prettier to look at. With bushcraft, the sky really is the limit. If you can imagine it, you can do it. There's no obstacle that you can't overcome. I mean, there's everything from, you look at Morris Kochanski's bushcraft winch. I mean, how many people have used that to get themselves out of a bind in a bush? And it quite simply is 2 sticks, essentially. And I mean, just such a fantastic bit of knowledge to know about that. It's what bushcraft is all about, knowing all these little tips and tricks and how to utilize what's around you. Another item that you can make that is extremely valuable, that really makes it a lot easier on your body and when you go to attempt to complete different bushcraft projects, is a simple bushcraft sawhorse. You can see in one of our other videos the process of how we made our bushcraft sawhorse, and you can see it in other videos from then on utilizing it to make other projects, as well as just bucking up firewood. A great bit of bushcraft knowledge there. The whole idea is to make things as comfortable and as functional as possible in the woods. A sawhorse is very functional. It is utilized for so many different tasks that it really makes it worthwhile to stop and build one right away. Don't do 4 or 5 projects and then build one. Get yourself a sawhorse right quick. It'll make them projects so much easier. You're not bent over. You're not, you know, it's not as hard on your back and stuff when you can stand up and saw. You can have your pieces laid out when you're doing projects and take good measurements and stuff. You're up off the ground in the snow and the wet, the mud. a great bit of bushcraft tip there to have, and I definitely suggest that when you're talking about utilizing your imagination, that's definitely something that is easily done and makes your life a lot easier. So our water is done here. For tea time today, we're going to have a bit of chaga tea. I processed this up this morning, just a little bag of it. Now to make this tea, you're going to utilize something that every bushcrafter's got with them, and that's just a simple bandana. Useful for a lot of things. Today I'm going to use it as a filter to dump my chaga in. So you just stick it in the cup like that. Dump your chaga in there. Make sure it's good down in the center. Now when you just grab your bottle and dump your hot water over it, much the same as you would if you were using it as an improvised coffee filter. Slowly pour your hot water in and let it filter through. Once you have all your water in here, you're going to want to leave it steep for a good 10 minutes. Now that it's full of water, we'll just set it off to the side. You want to be careful because the bandana will act like a wick and pull some of the fluid up here. So when you go to grab onto it, make sure you got gloves or something on so you're not grabbing a hold of boiling hot water. Just to give you guys a quick peek. If I can find where the cup is. To give you a peek at how dark that is. So our chaga tea is ready. Give you guys a quick look at that. You can see how dark it is. Black like coffee. It's definitely a very good drink, very healthy for you. Chaga is very medicinal, can be used for a lot of things from medicines and teas to lighting fires even. It's a fantastic bit of stuff from nature there that you can utilize. And it's unfortunate here we don't have a lot of chaga, and so little in fact that I very rarely harvest it, because I'd need to see 3 real good healthy big pieces within where I am standing to even think about harvesting it. And even then I'll only take a little bit, because there's so little here where I am. Even though we got a lot of birch, there's not much chaga, and I don't want to kill it out. It takes years and years and years for chaga to grow, and there's no point in killing it out just for the sake of having a little bit of something for yourself. It's a different tea. It's got a different taste to it. I don't even know what to compare it to. It's a very good taste. It's just different. It's not like pine needles or spruce needles or Labrador tea leaves or anything like that. It's just a different taste, but it is very good. It's pleasant. It's not overwhelming. Definitely some good stuff. Caleb's got some ash going in the bowl again here now. He's got a few coals in there, and he's just blowing in there once in a while just to keep him excited, and we're going to let it burn more of the center of the bowl out now. Other bits of furniture that you can make when you're talking about bushcraft and using your imagination. There's everything from these simple benches like you can see that we're sitting on here and we utilize at our day camp. They're great bits of additional comfort that can be brought into bushcraft, and you can make everything from very simple ones to a lot more elaborate ones, just depending on the time you have and how much effort you want to put into it. Again, the sky is the limit when you're talking about these sort of things. Along the topic of bushcraft furniture, you can also make a bushcraft chair, which is extremely comfortable, doesn't take very long to build. You can see on our channel I've got a video of creating a bushcraft chair up. There are numerous different ways to do this, but this is the avenue that I chose to go with it. And again, it's something that adds a lot of comfort to the camp and makes it a lot easier on your body and on your gear to be up off the ground and not getting wet, and just comfortable. A lot easier on your back as well. A great bit of bushcraft furniture to make that doesn't require a whole bunch of time. There's a number of different kind of bushcraft tables that you can make. Everything from elaborate tables that require a lot of notches and stuff. I plan on taking up a project like this tomorrow actually, in creating a bushcraft table. There are a lot simpler ones that I've done in the past. I think I've got a picture or two of one, and they're very, very simple, very easy to make. Again, another bit of comfort for you, makes your life a lot easier. You can get your kit, your gear up off the ground. It's easier on your back not to be bent right over, even when you're using something simple like a twig burning stove, to get that up at a level that you're dealing with it up here instead of being bent over all the time down here. There's so many different styles and ways that you can make this that are everything from elaborate to simple. And again, your imagination is your limit when it comes to stuff like bushcraft furniture, that whatever you can dream up, you can make it. There's so many different things you can do with a simple saw, an axe, a knife, a chisel. You can make a lot of stuff with a few simple tools, and that's the heart of bushcraft. That's what it's all about. A little more ambitious project that we are going to partake in the future, when we get back out to our bushcraft base camp or the river camp, we are going to create a bushcraft picnic table. This is a project that we've looked at doing here for over a year already and just haven't got around to it. It's a fairly ambitious project that requires a lot of notches and a lot of time, but it's something that will be utilized a lot for what we do when we do our family camps, that it's definitely going to be worth the effort for us to put in. I'm sorry I don't got any pictures or videos of that one at this time, but it is something we are going to be doing in the future, and you can look forward to seeing that video coming. Leatherworking is another craft that you can take up that'll greatly help you with your wild camping and bushcraft. You can make everything from sheaths for your knives to masks, as well as like little protective covers to protect the haft of the axe. There's numerous things you can do with leatherworking, possible pouches. It really is a great thing to get into. We are currently getting into it, but we haven't really started putting out products and stuff yet for ourselves, but we picked up a lot of the equipment and stuff, and we're we're just waiting for a bit of downtime to get more heavily into that. My wife has got a lot of projects on the go already with all her crocheting and stuff that her time is pretty well used up as it is right now. But when things slow down a little bit, it's definitely something we're going to be getting into in the future, and I suggest you guys get into it too. So you can see from the few items that we've touched on when it comes to bushcraft and using your imagination both in the woods and at home, that the sky is the limit. And like I said, we just lightly touched on it. We didn't go into everything. But if there's something that you guys feel you want to see or that you think should have definitely been mentioned, feel free to leave it in the comments. If you liked our video, please like it, subscribe, comment. We appreciate all the support that we've got already. We can't say that enough. Our Facebook page is rocking along good. Instagram, Twitter. We're a little bit behind on our actual YouTube page, but hey, the subscribers will get there. And we'd like to thank you guys for accompanying us and joining us on these journeys and walking with us through our bushcraft and wild camping. Till the next video, take care.